A sign of times oracles for Cindy, and I have crystal achievement and flamingo fun here. Let me see the specific information for you from the guidebook. Want me to talk about crystal in general? Pacific one? It's about achievement. It is not too clear. Why there's a doubt in here? You're doubting the things that you do in life. You're doubting the direction that you should take in life. It's causing difficulties, causing contradictions. That's what I'm getting here. And there's like energy of stress as well in your life. So I'm just picking up this negative emotions from you. And that's what trapping you to get stuck in this type of energy. Are you aware of that, Cindy? That is causing you difficulties, not to have clarity in your life. And that's what I'm picking up on this first card here. But flamingo here, about fun. You have to live your life to the fullest. What it is without fun. If you have to live in a life that is so stressful, if you have to live in a life that you perceive to be bad, that is no fun in life like this. And this card is just trying to tell you to lighten up with your life situations. Don't will them in a negative way. And that's how you should lighten it up, Pay attention, be more curious about your feelings. Especially those negative feelings that are arriving. You need to pay attention to them. You need to have more self-care about your emotional side. So that way you're not drawn into all those negativities. The more negative emotion that you have, the more negative energy you're going to have. And that's more negativity you're going to attract in your life. So you need to learn to how to release those negative feelings. And you should know that you don't need to practice negative feelings just by changing the way you perceive life situations. Don't label them as bad or don't label them as good. Why not just enjoy each moment of them, You only have this one lifetime, You're not going to get another lifetime like this. Why not take advantage of that and live to your fullest? And at the same time, find out who you are, Cindy. What is authentic to you? So that way you have more clarity in your life. Live your life without doubt. Just live your life to have a little bit of fun. I'm glad to end it here. May you find life from your spiritual guardian. Let me put this in order here. Light is an expression of you. Embrace the dark. Trust in your new path. Okay, this is a sixth sense reading for Jess. And there's 3 cards position for blockage, effect, and clarity. Expressing your authenticity, it's still a challenge for you. And I feel like you don't know yourself enough to understand what is authentic to you, Jess. And I feel like your emotions gets in the way, your judgments get in the way as well, and your past experiences also cause you to block yourself to find who is really Jess. What does she really like? You know, what kind of light energy does she actually have? And because all those influences that you're still under, it is hard for you to express who is Jess. Even though if you have this intuitive gift in you, but it's still hard for you to figure out what is the truth. And that's what's going on with the blockage here. And the effect is embrace the dark, shine your true light up on this earth. But embracing the darkness is not about balancing your darkness with your light. It's about understanding where your darkness is coming from and what can you do about that. How is this darkness affecting you in your everyday life? And what is the truth of the matter about this darkness as well? So if you understand this effect had on you, then you can do something positive about that through inner work, through releasing. And do be aware of that. No darkness is a permanent thing. You have the free will to choose not to continue this type of attachment. And the clarity, trust in your new path, all will work out for you. When you decide what direction it's to take, then trust wherever it's taking you. Wherever that you are encountering, trust that process. Why do I feel like you know you're on this spiritual path already? But I feel like you're just under some type of false belief that caused you to turn it to the different directions. And you can let go those false beliefs, Jess. Anything that is created by the human world, you should get rid of them. Your guardian want me to use the word decluttering them. Stop stuffing into your memory brain. It's time to shut them. Shut those information. They're not useful for you. It's only cause you to doubt, cause you confusion, cause you to continue to stuck in those judgment, stuck in those influence, that you're not able to have a breakthrough, to embrace all possibility out there. And I hope you know that this cosmos is so huge. And I feel like there's a reason why it want me to use these starry beginnings. If you want to be really connect with your spiritual guardian out there in the cosmos, you just have to let go all those human creations. They all tend to trap you in false belief, trap you in your own darkness, cause you to think that you need to balance between the dark and light, and not realizing you don't have to attach to darkness forever. All it takes is your determination, your curiosity, your free will, embracing all possibilities, the one that you don't know yet. Is there anything else? The new path. Is there a specific thing that she needs to know about the new path? reactivations. Jess need to go through a reactivation about her third eye chakra. It's want me to tell you that you need to do grounding through wood chakra meditations. So that way you can silence those noise that are blocking you temporarily. If you need to burn sage to help you to release some of those, do that during that meditations. It does not require long, but it does require a consistent practice. So that way, the more you do, the better you will get. Couple minutes a day won't hurt you. It's just to help you silence, help you to be still, help you not to think, help you not to desire. Most importantly, do not manifest. The more you try to manifest, the more you're going to attract all those negativity. Because remember, you still have attachment to darkness. You're using that to manifest, and which is a huge no. So don't do that. So the more you're still and grounded, and I feel like the expression of you will come through. So that way you know what is this new path that you need to take. This is about strengthening your third eye chakra at the same time grounding. So this is how you're going to reactivate your third eye chakra here to bring forth the clarity. And of course, you have to do inner work in order to release those specific things that I'm telling you that causing you not to able to know who you really are, which is your authentic version. Is there any more that I need to say for Jess? Guide to end it here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Journal reading for Nicole. I'm using the psychic tarot for the heart. Refusing to see. Card number 2. Let me check in the guidebook. Is there a specific one for you here? You need to see things the way they are. When I say things, could be any situation, any people's, or even the physical items here in your day-to-day life. And it is not always easy for you to do that. Perhaps you have an ideas of how you want to perceive life. Or perhaps you have this comfort zone that you like to stuck in that zone and you couldn't branch out. And also, and I'm sensing that life experiences have caused you to close your heart. And that's very hard for you to believe that there's other possibility out there beside what you already experienced. So I'm just giving you some possibility why you're refusing to see the way things are. So once you understand that, why not do some introspections about those issues that you're attaching to? So that way you can open up to all possibility out there. So you wouldn't be closing your heart. You wouldn't be narrowing your mind to one-sided. So is there anything else that the comfort zone? You have to let go your fear You have to let go what's making you feel good. If you're not willing to break that comfort zone, so-called old patterns, you're gonna get stuck where you are. It's gonna be very hard for you to see who is Nicole anyway. Is she just living this lifetime based on past experiences that's all she ever gonna have? Or is she's willing to do something different for herself so you wouldn't stuck in that old patterns? So this card is want you to do some self transformations so that way you won't stuck where you are right now because of the past. I'm glad to end it here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. We found waiting for Ariana from the Sherman Dream. We go to the guidebook here. The first one, Dream Thief. The second one, A Tidy House. Card 13. Refusal of the core. The dream thief is a soft and compelling seductress. Her only purpose is to keep you hypnotized by comfort and sameness. She wants you to tell your old story over and over so you don't evolve beyond them. Ask yourself whether you're reverting back to the familiarity of your origin story of why you were wounded or when you were rejected. Do you talk about how your family molded you as a child without also acknowledging that you have already become someone else? So I think this is a paragraph on from the guidebook already said why you're stuck in the comfort and sameness over and over again and you haven't found the breakthrough yet. And that's what this refusal of the call is talking about here. Is there anything else that I need to emphasize about this dream thief? This is about self identity, Ariana. You're using self identity to define who is Ariana, but that is not your soul, Ariana. You're stuck in the physical perspective of life instead of moving toward the spiritual perspective of life at your soul level. I hope you see why you're stuck in comfort and sameness, the same old pattern you're repeating over and over. Um, Perhaps there's a significant rejection in the past that you're holding on to this wound that you're not willing to heal. Something about embarrassment as well, particular situation in your past that you feel embarrassed about. That's also tied to your self esteem, self love that you're still robbing yourself from. Whether you're willing to have this breakthrough or not, it's really up to you to release those negativities that this card is talking about. Shall I move on to the next one? So, tidy house, clarity, and organization. Do not make assumptions. You need clarity from your relationships. This relationship could be many different type of relationship. Self relationship, people relationship, things can be a relationship as well. I don't know why I want me to use an example car, for example, that you can have relationship with that as well. So that means relationship can be anything. So do not just define that relationship only belongs to people, okay? The question is, are you willing to let go the relationships to live your life? Relationship can be an attachment. It's binding you from seeing the truth. What can you do to not to define a relationship? What can you do to live for the moment? To live with that Pacific light event that has occurred in the past, now, and the futures, without defining the relationship you're having with those things, with those people, including with yourself. And I still feel like tied to your first card, self-identity, that you're putting yourself in. You're the one who create who is Ariana. But that is not your soul, Ariana. That is not your authentic self. And that's why you're having a hard time having clarity. This is a quite deeper inner work that you have to do. I feel like you're moving on to a different type of soul ascension here that you have to work on. But getting to the truth, it's where you're stuck in this type of cycles because you're still holding on to them, that you need to release those attachments. This is about freeing yourself from any type of influences from the external side of life, from the physical side of life. Your guardian want me to say congratulations, and that's coming from me as well, because I've been waiting you for some time now. And this 2 card here is more advanced level. Not many people are capable of getting into this type of soul ascension, okay? Ariana, it worth celebrating your where you are right now when it comes to this spiritual journey. You should be proud of yourself. But just keep working on this, what this 2 card is trying to tell you. This is a special inner work for you. Is there any more I need to elaborate for Ariana here? I'm glad to end here. May you find light from the spiritual guardian. This is a divine reading for Brandi. I'm using the Hush Tarot for you here. Just a couple cards for you, but let me lay them out here. Page of Sword, the Fool card, the Magician card, King of Sword, and also the Queen of Sword here at the bottom. You see the visual here. The Page of Sword. I feel like you're trapped into some particular situation here. I mean, this lady is in a rooster formation here. But you know how rooster like to scream in the morning when the sun rises. And I feel like this is like, it's giving me the vibe of gossip here. But who is gossiping? So it's trying to tell me that you are gossiping about something and someone as well. Depend on the situations, okay? And this energy, it's not coming from love, Brandi. It's coming from needing attention. It's coming from anger. Sometimes it's coming from fear. and you using this negative energy to give you strength to form a protective barrier for yourself so you can be more relatable in the society, whoever you're associating with. And I hope you're realizing that you're doing this to encourage yourself to practice more negative energy in this way. So you need to reconsider the path that you're taking at this time. I think that will be very critical for you. Do you want to continue to be this rooster? The like to scream, the like to bark when the sun's coming out? That's where people be more productive, right? Do you want to be more productive, or you just want to vent this type of negativity that you haven't dealt with for some time? And this full card is telling you that, do you want to be more curious about yourself? You know, or do you want to continue this path of going nowhere? And this full card is asking you that you need to focus on yourself. It is not the time to talk about things. It's not the time to talk about other people's. Things happen to you that you're not doing your inner reflections. You're doing outer reflections. It's time to shift that focus on yourself, Brandi. Instead of being stuck with all this gossip. Yeah, you're confused because you don't understand your own feelings, Brandi. Why you're engaging in gossiping circles. And let me move on to the next one, the magician card here. Misuse of information. This magician card is talking about. It is destroying the higher purpose of why particular situation, why particular life events happen to you. Do you keep repeating the same cycle, or do you want to have a breakthrough in those cycles that you keep repeating over and over? Make sure you understand your own intention, making sure you understand what's your motivation, making sure you understand your emotions that drive all those intention motivations. So that way you're not destroying your own self in your own darkness. And I hope you're aware that you are one of the contributors in these dark societies. And be aware what you're doing. Is it coming out of love, our fears, our protections, our judgment, our personal experiences? You're the only one who can tell that, Brandi. Let me move on to the next one, the King of Swords. And I hope that your weird divine reading is about taking a light path. And that's what this week divine reading is all about. The question is, are you ready to do that? The King of Swords, the unkind replay on your thoughts, it's quite strong. You keep encouraging this negativity on your own self that is not coming from love. This is not a string of love. You might think that this is like protections. Who are you trying to protect here? This is not coming from universal love. You are isolating who to like, who not to like. What do you prefer? And that is not universal love. You only did what you prefer. You're missing out quite a bit of opportunity to help yourself, to release so-called discrimination, one-sided judgment. Are you drawn into particular peoples? Do you have resentment toward particular individuals? That you're using that past experience to practicing on other as well? What are you trying to represent here? And let me move on to the next one, the last card, the Queen of Swords here. Chaos, emotional turbulence. And that's what's going on inside your inner world. Masking your own self, one layer after another. This is just to hide the truth about you. When you think that you're practicing light, but you incorporate so much darkness in you. And you're not willing to admit that because you're still wearing this heavy mask that you're not willing to take off until you learn what truly love is, what is universal love. So may you forgive, may you find light compassions, and may you find unconditional love to open your heart and soul to rebuild, to release. Any more you say for Brandi here? God, to end here, may you find light from your spiritual guardian. Journal reading for Sevan from Gateway of Light Activations. We go to the guidebook here. This is the angelic frequency. I'm able to find that page here. This is the frequency about angels' energy. This is the gateway to unconditional love, which is the infinite light source. And that's what infinite light is coming from the unconditional love where a lot of human beings are lacking on this earth. And that's what causing all this darkness to happen in the society a lot. Even the previous reading that I was doing, why people are so dark, that they don't understand what is love. Let me see if there's anything else. The law of attraction, it want me to explain it to you. Light attract light. Wherever you're practicing, and that's what you're gonna attract. So be aware of that. If you're practicing fear, you're gonna attract fear in so many different forms. Fear, like worry can come from fear. Hurry can come from fear. Are you aware of that? What you're doing to yourself from your day-to-day life. So be aware of the way your feelings are driving you to do certain things, certain behaviors, certain things that you say. And sometimes it's come from your past experiences as well. Some people like to deny, oh, it's not come from my past experiences. And that's called denials. A lot of things are coming from past experiences, using the past to judge now and the futures. How you going to react? Are you aware you're having emotional reactions through your day-to-day life? Can you feel your inner emotions causing you certain behavior, causing you to have certain old patterns? Be aware of that. This is not the time to focus on the external side of it when you're having emotional triggers. It is time to focus on your inner world to feel what that feeling is. Is it serving your greatest good? How can you tell that? If it's coming from your fear base of living, then it's not serving your greatest good. If it's coming from your unconditional love, so-called love-based living, then it is serving your greatest good. But before you can even discern that, are you mixing your darkness with so-called positive emotions? Now, this is a different level of complexity that you have to discern. Don't use past judgment to help you, because that's never going to work. Past judgment narrow you down to your past experience. It's hard for you to open up to all possibilities. Be aware of that. How much are you aware of your own self to understand, to get to the bottom of the truth, not the one that you perceive to be the truth? And that's a huge difference what I just said. I hope that's triggering you. I hope you're embracing all kind of triggers, emotional trigger, mental triggers. They are good for you, right? If you don't get triggered, how can you gonna expand yourself? Then stuck where you are. Is there any more about this passage here? So welcome to this light path, Sevens. And I feel like you're on spiritual journey. And I hope that you are aware you're here to heal yourself. All those darkness that you have been attached to is not just coming from this lifetime, from a few past lifetime as well. That's why you're stuck in certain karma, certain cycles, until you realize that you need to do a lot to release them. Releasing is not putting them aside. Release them is not replacing by good feelings. Release them is not about stuck in comfort zones. It takes a lot to face your own darkness. Doesn't matter what it is that your internal emotions are being triggers. Embrace them with courage, embrace them with determination, and trust your spiritual guardian is guiding you from every step of the way. You don't have to doubt that. Your spiritual guardians, okay? I know you have spiritual sign. Pay attention to that. Whether it's from the external or the internal world that you're picking up those spiritual signs, okay? I'm glad to end here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Time Oracle card here for Thomas. May. Divine timing at play. April. January, December. I don't know why there's a lot of timelines here, but let me channel and see what's going on for you. Okay, Thomas, are you manifesting? No manifestation. Maybe that's why. It's not going to be accurate readings. I already told you to focus on your breathing and nothing else, and don't manifest. When you manifest, you're creating your own reading here. This is not very good. That's why I tell people not to manifest. But let me talk to your spiritual guardian and see if I need to revise this reading at all. No. May. Everything is at divine timing. There's nothing you can ask for. You cannot speed up your life journey. You have free will. You have free will. A lot of people ask about their future. They want to anticipate, oh, is this luck coming to me? Or is there something bad thing that I can avoid? I know that. I know what people want. But that's not good for you, Thomas. Why? You're missing out the purpose of what's going on around this world. Why there's so much darkness? Are you aware you're one of the contributors of this dark society? Why divine timing is at play? It's all about your energy. It's all about the law of attractions. You are what you are. You pass a certain thing, that's the same things coming back to you, okay? That's one of the reasons. Divine timing is also about you cannot anticipate your futures unless you want to stuck in this law of attractions and never get out of it. What is divine timing is a play you cannot anticipate. That's the reason why. Because you're creating your own life journey through whatever you're practicing. A lot of people don't realizing it. What is law of attraction? They think they can use energy to manifest whatever they desire. It never worked this way. Why? At the end of that outcome, something negative is going to happen to them. It's going to go back to them like 10 or 100 times greater. Then they just don't realize what's going on. And that's why everything, it's at divine timing. It's also meaning that you have the free will to create your own life. You have the free will to decide what you choose, wherever it's happening to you right now. Do you want to do that or you not want to do that? Choose to be silent, choose not to do anything. It's still a choice. Be aware of that. Never give away your free will. And that's what makes you Thomas sold. If you give away your free will, are you under a lot of influences? And that is the culprit of why you don't have free will. Why everything is at divine timing, because you keep changing your own timeline. You keep changing the path that is good for you. But right now you don't know what is good for you. Through anticipations, you are going to this hamster wheel. A hamster keeps circling in that wheel in that little cage. That's what you are going through right now. I'm seeing the world card here, from the tarot deck, going to cycling over. Beginning of a cycle, ending of the cycle. You keep repeating it over and over and not realizing you're doing the same thing over and over again. So you stuck with this old pattern. At the same time, you're encouraging the same type of energy you're practicing. So be aware of that. Is there any particular thing I need to talk about? May, April, January, December? Zero. Nothing. Because you manifest all those months for yourself. Perhaps there's something you need to go back to reflect on right now. You need to go back to reflect on last month. Go back to reflect on January and December of last year. Something happens. I feel like those are talk about cycling that you are going through and not realizing what they are. Something happened about those 5 months. That you need to go back to some particular life situation that trigger you. Relationship. Particular individuals, even with strangers, that you don't know those particular individual too well, that you happen to encounter them through that particular life event in one of those, I don't know which month, okay? I'm not here to channel that Pacific. Why the F word come to me? Did you say the F word or someone say the F word to you? How did it make you feel? Anger. Mad. That's not coming from love. That's one of the darkness. Anger, mad, however you want to say it. It's all come from hate. That's what makes this world so dark. People are practicing this, contributing to the society to make this world as dark as possible. It's not coming from love. Thomas, I hope you realize it. What's going on with your energy? That type of energy, it's come from negativity. Why do you want that? Does anger make you feel good? Or are you still blaming on particular individual to, oh, this person made me mad, and so you don't have to take responsibility over the way how you feel? Remember, you are holding on to anger to practice. Yeah, you're practicing on that particular situation. Doesn't mean you haven't practicing in your past life. Doesn't mean you haven't practicing in that particular life event before that. Now and the future as well. Why do you want to hold on to anger instead of opening your heart and soul to love? Can you forgive? Forgiveness is coming from love. I hope you realize it. Why this world needs so much forgiveness. Do you have compassion for that individual you just say the F word to, or that person say the F word to you? I don't know which side are doing that. Do you have compassion as well for that particular situations? Sure, people have bad days. You have bad days, but we don't need to fend that on people. Catch it yourself so you don't engage in that negative energy. Learn to be aware of your own emotions. Learn to release it through forgiveness, through compassion and unconditional love, so that way you can return back to your light being. You are a love being. You're born to be in the light once upon a time until all this human darkness contaminate you, corrupt you, disrupt you, whatever that you want to call it. All those influences, as long as you continue to allow those influences to affect you, to impact you in a negative way, you're going to get stuck in that path. Is there any more you say for Thomas here? And there's so much to reflect on in those 5 months that have already happening as of today. And I hope you will continue to do that. And I just gave you just one example of what happened in one of those months, okay? Any more for Thomas? and guide to end here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. And I hope you're still here, Thomas. You haven't stepped out. Otherwise, you're going to miss out so much light in this reading. Following for me readings between Bridget with Bob using the Neon Love Oracle deck here. Got first one, toxic. There seems to be negative impact on this relationship, causing mental chaos, health, more emotional health problems. It feels like, is this Bob feeling toward Bridget? He feels like it's better off without me. That's how he feels, right? Seems like something happened recently. Or in the past, or whatever that is. Connections. Whatever ends up happening with us, I'm grateful to have met you and for the connection that we have. So I feel like that's how Bob feel about the connection in the past with you. And he's grateful for that. So it's a positive, energy from his attitude. Unstable, stop. I'll be honest, I'm kind of a mess. He's not ready to have relationship with Bridget. I feel like he's moving on with whatever life situation he's in right now. Catch, go. I'm everything you have been looking for and more. Is this a Wonka? This is Bob feelings toward Bridget. Like, I feel like he knows that he has the criteria you're looking for in men to have a long-term relationship with. And that's how he feel about you as well. Is there any more I need to do for Bridget here for this particular reading? And this is the end of it. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. This is a house white tarot deck for you, Kayla, for this journal reading. So I have the first one, Knight of Swords, the Fool, and the Empress. Do you want me to go guide for her? The Knight of Swords. Why do I feel like you are in love with someone who is chaotic, don't know how to reciprocate properly at emotional levels to truly feel the truth, love that you so deserve, Kayla? That's what I'm sensing here. So there's like a distance between you two. And I'm not too sure how serious that relationship may be. Perhaps it's just for some reason I'm picking up the word intimacy. There were physical intimacy between you two before. But there's also a distance when it comes to the emotional intimacy. So that's what I'm seeing in this card. Should I move on to the next one? This full card, it's like, leaving a lot of things behind or giving too much. That's what I'm sensing here. Giving too much in this relationship. Like you're giving a piece of your weight in a materialistic sense. Because I'm seeing a lot of materialistic stuff, like this person keep you know, taking out the wallet over and over. It's like this is your wallet, but then all your stuff is like giving away a piece of it. Or for that life situation in the past might be like, what do you get out of that? It's like a short moment of happiness. That's what I'm getting. But that happiness didn't last for you. And I feel like you're wondering why it won't last when you thought it was so real. You thought it was the true love. And the Empress card is recipe for success because you didn't put the right ingredient into that relationship to make it work. Perhaps too much dessert, didn't have the so-called the main course. And this is a housewife tale. It's more like a domestic situation, right? It didn't have the right healthy ingredients. Too much sugar. Yeah, too much sugar and doesn't have any practical substance into it. So perhaps that love is too much fantasy involved, too much impracticality involved in that to really nurture this relationship in the past. And I feel like your guardian intention is you need to go back and reflect what type of dessert you've been putting in instead of putting in that healthy ingredient to make a great recipe in this relationship. Okay, I'm just using as a symbolism using recipe. Okay, it's just the deck, the theme of this deck. So I hope you understand. Relationship requires certain ingredients. You know, both sided communications. It take respect. It take mutual understanding about each other life goals, and so forth. And also what kind of darkness are you practicing, right? When it comes to emotion, is this the language of love or is this language of insecurity? And so forth. I hope you see. I'm just giving you those contract statements so you can better reflect. Are you really truly love this person with the pure form of love, or you just keep loving this person with your own negative emotions? Negative emotions are not love, and I feel like you understand that, Kayla. So the more you understand this, the better you can help yourself. What can you do to turn your fear into love language? Do you have to use fear into a relationship or including the self relationship to it? Relationship is not just relationship with somebody else. You also have a thing called self relationship. How do you talk to yourself? How do you feel about yourself? And so forth. If you're feeling fear, where is that coming from? Fear, it's a negative emotion. It's not coming from love. And that is something that a piece of it that you need to reflect on. What can you do to release it? So that way your world it's only has the love, so you can live in this lifetime with a love-based living method instead of a fear-based living method. And I'm a guide to end here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Waiting for Kiki using the star code Astrals. 9 house explorations. Let me go to the guidebook here. You need to get out of your comfort zone to see the world. Perhaps you're stuck in the boundary that you set for yourself to limit you. Perhaps the familiarity keep you safe. What is it that you're still afraid of, Kiki, in this lifetime that you haven't dealt with? You're still under certain influences in your life. It's hard for you to have personal growth. And that's why this house is asking you to explore the unknown, things that you don't know, think about you that you don't know. From time to time, you have to do introspections about you because those boundaries are so strong that you set yourself to. Perhaps integrities, perhaps relationship boundaries, perhaps boundary with things, activities so-called, that you would do or don't do. Those are called limitations. That's why you have hard time exploring. Exploring not necessarily mean you have to start in your external world using your physical body. Exploring could be your inner world. How do you feel at that moment? Why do you feel the way you feel at that moment? Where is that feeling coming from? This is all coming from your inside. How are you exploring that? Do you realize you do have those emotional triggers? Whatever activity that you do or don't do, including stuck in your own comfort zones, that could cause emotional triggers too. And that is a challenge for you in this lifetime to have personal growth. So you have to free yourself in order to have some significant breakthrough in this life journey. I'm going to end it here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian.